Oh yeah, my friends, shuffled deck, shuffled and borrowed if you want, if you're following along with one of these ad copies, even though nobody really ever has a deck of cards on them. And we have a card picked, and in this case, lost forevermore in the deck, the 3 of diamonds. That card is lost in the deck, never to be seen ever again. But we're actually going to have a couple chances to find that card, a couple chances. I feel good about this one. I feel great about this one. I feel even better about that one. And yes, even that one. So don't tell me, but I think your card is on this little pile that we've made here. Now again, please don't give anything away. Don't tell me if you see your card, but it's definitely here because I've been doing this for long enough. So it's definitely one of these cards, but don't give anything away. All right, because what's going to happen here is we're actually going to use a little bit of a special wave. I don't know if you're familiar with magicians and their techniques, but watch this right here. Look, if I just wave this right over the deck, just give it a little bit of a shake, you see that one card manages to appear. Yes, my friend, one card and one card alone, the 3 of diamonds. Oh yeah. So this is taking advantage of a color change that I believe is called the Zenneth color change from forever ago. And typically this is done with the cards like this to the participant, but I find that you can actually get away with doing this in this particular plane with the cards face down. So it's a very simple routine. We're going to have a card picked and controlled to the top of the deck. We're then going to have 4 other cards that are picked either by participants or by yourself under the guise of apparently looking for the card. So all I'm going to do here is just get a break right here below the top card of the deck. As I put these cards on top, I could then lift up on all these cards and place the deck face down on the table. Remember that their card is underneath here. So let's say for the sake of explanation, their card is the 3 of diamonds. So I'm going to spread over 1, 2, 3 and hold this as a double, as I can now show these cards to the participant and go, all right, so we have some cards here. Don't tell me if you see your card. Don't tell me. And all I'm going to do here is just take 2 cards from the top and place them on the bottom as I turn this pile to a face down position. Now what this does is that it actually places the card in the middle. Now if you want, you could just simply do this by cutting the cards and then turning it face down. Same action. And now here's what we're going to do in order to get to the position we need for this trick. We're going to push 1 card with our thumb and regrip it in this middle grip position. We're then going to take 1 card from the bottom and slide it, and then take another card from the bottom and slide it. So here I'm actually going to reposition the cards in a very specific fashion, because if you've noticed, directly underneath this card is the spectator's card. However, we don't want it to be aligned with the card underneath. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Without anything there, this is how you're going to align the cards. You're just simply going to grab the card here, that's, remember, in the second position from the top, and we're going to push it a little bit to the left. So this is going to be the alignment underneath the cards. So with this cover card, this is what it's going to look like, and with the other cover cards, this is what it's going to look like. But underneath, we actually have a card that's misaligned by just a little bit, just a fraction of an inch. But we're going to do that as we're just arranging the cards like this and placing them in this position. Now what's going to happen is that as I'm shaking, I'm just going to bring up my forefinger and lift up on that card that is second from the top of the deck. Now when I lift up, I'm actually going to push that card and square it up with this card that's directly on top. So this is taking place as I'm shaking, and then what's going to happen is because that card is face up, it's going to come into view and be a very startling apparition. So one more time, remember that card is there in the middle. We're going to push up. We're then going to pull this one, and then we're going to use our thumb to just pull this card slightly to the left as we rearrange the cards. Now we're left in a position where if we bring our forefinger as we're shaking, we're going to bring our forefinger to the second position, we're going to lift up, and we're going to push in and square it up with this card that's directly on top. So when we do that action, it's a wonderful little change, and this card is immediately going to come into attention. So it's a wonderful change, and it's taking place as you're shaking the cards like this. So now here's the cleanup. All I'm going to do is just take this card, which is now a double card, and place it on top of the deck as I take these 2 cards and place them on top of the deck as well, showing the card to have magically appeared. So I think it's a lovely little sequence here, and definitely a startling, because the card supposedly wasn't in the pile. So it becomes a sucker effect, and then there's a color change, and I think it's wonderful. So this is how the change should look like. The cards are held in this way. We're shaking the cards, and in the little shake, guess what? We have an apparition of a card. That's right, one card and one card alone, your card, sir. How great is that? How fun is that? So it's a nice little apparition. It's a sucker trick all rolled into one. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys perform it. Again, first time I saw this is a change called the Zenneth change from God knows how long ago in the 90s. And it's done in this particular way. But if you do it this way, it's also a nice way of doing a color change. And it's also a great one if you look up the original, if you could find it, because he does it with the aces. So the cards start face down, and then one at a time they turn face up, showing the aces. Great, great thing. But this is just a close-up variant of that. Thank you guys for being piggybackers, and I hope to see you on the next one.